Hawaii hits the mainland for just the second time all season. Tonight, a conference road test at UC Riverside as they're looking to bounce back from a brutal start to Big West play. Hawaii is off to their best start in 14 years, but tonight may be their toughest test yet. They're looking to win their conference road opener, something they haven't done in 5 seasons. Plus, no Aaron Valdez, he's out with a foot injury. Meanwhile, UC Riverside looking to snap a 4-game skid and for some deja vu from when they knocked off the Warriors here in SoCal just a year ago. Welcome, everybody. I'm Trent Schloem. Next to me, former college basketball head coach Richie Schuler. And Richie, both teams tonight really looking for vindication at this point in the year. What are some keys to victory tonight for both?
Well, Hawaii's been dynamic on the defensive end of the floor a lot this season. They have to continue that defensive attack. They also have to dominate the boards in order to beat UC Riverside. And UC Riverside has such good depth on the perimeter, they're going to have to slow them down. Riverside, on the other hand, they're going to have to limit the turnovers, both in the half court and in the full court. Execute their offense to get great quality shots and handle those difficult matchups that they're going to face playing Hawaii tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be something to watch tonight, Richie. Let's take a look at the starters this evening. 2 notable omissions for Hawaii. You see Isaac Fleming, normally a 6-man, he's in the starting lineup, as is Sai Tumala. They are in. That is because Roderick Bobbitt is out. He may return later today, but not in the starting lineup. And no Aaron Valdez tonight. Usual suspects for UC Riverside. As now we welcome the 3rd member of our team, Sanaz Tavasol.
Thank you, Trent. Well, this Riverside team is going to try to gain some momentum here tonight after back-to-back disappointing conference losses. But head coach Dennis Cutts told me, you know what, my team is resilient. They bounced back. We've had a couple of great practices. We've learned everything we can from those 2 losses. And now it's time to leave them in the past where they belong. Looking forward to Hawaii. I know there's some mismatches on the floor, even without their star guard, Aaron Valdez. And that's why my team has to focus on ball control in the full and half court tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sanaz. Yeah, you know, encouraging, I think, for UC Riverside fans after they really blew that game against Cal State Fullerton just last week. Had a 20-point lead in the second half and saw that fall to a team that won just 1 game in conference a year ago. To start 0-2 now, tough to bounce back from that, but the Highlanders seem poised.
Well, this fan base has grown and grown under Coach Cutts, and you're seeing a lot more fans come to the games. I think the players have taken it upon themselves to be sure that they give these fans something to cheer for this season. They've done it so far. They struggled, obviously, and lost against Cal State Fullerton. I think they're ready for revenge tonight against a very good Hawaii basketball team on the road.
Hawaii, a tremendous defensive team, one of the nation's leaders in steals. They lead the Big West Conference in scoring. They're 2nd in defense. They force turnovers, and they get transition buckets. And this is a team that has played tremendous basketball for most of the year, off to their best start since the 2001-2002 season. That was the last time they were in the big dance, but it's Riverside who takes the opening tip. They are in home blacks, as it is a blackout here at the SRC Arena in Fullerton.
And they're always trying to get the ball inside to Taylor Johns there, who mishandles it out of bounds. And then also Jalen Bland, number 1. He's their go-to guy for scoring on the perimeter.
So an early turnover by UC Riverside. That's something that they certainly want to avoid this evening with the way that Hawaii has the ability to steal the basketball away. They had 22 turnovers here against UNLV earlier this year. They got to be better than that.
With this Hawaii offense, you're seeing some screening action on the perimeter from the post. They do that a lot. They like to come out from the post out to the perimeter, set some ball screens, and they're really an inside-outside attack, trying to get the ball in there to the big fella, Yankovic.
Foul is on Taylor Johns. That's his team's first. Quick inbound right away. And Tumala has it blocked. Fleming, second chance, gives to Thomas. Yankovic thought about the 3. One of the big mismatches in this conference. An athletic 5 is what he plays for Hawaii. That's Thomas for 3, back the rim. Fleming thought he had the rebound. Knocks our cameraman out in the process. and Riverside will take over.
Oh, it's good basketball there. Yankovic gets the ball in the post, doesn't try to force the shot, takes 2-3 dribbles, can't find anything, finds an open Mike Thomas in the corner. He's a guy you want taking that three over there.
Bringing it up is Stephen Jones, and they're really counting on him to have a big night. Sakeen Johnson, a key transfer. That's Jones for three. He missed it long. Gets his own rebound. Thought about the putback and finds Jalen Bland. Step back, three ball, count it! And Bland will try to make it four.
And he is fired up. Decided not to take the three-point shot on the kick out from Stevie Jones. Shot fake, one dribble, and the foul. It's one of the most dynamic three-point shooters in the country, Trent.
This is a guy 8th in the country in three-pointers made, and look at this, finishing through contact.
Shot fake, one dribble, got Isaac Fleming off his feet. Just a little bit of space is all he needs to knock down a three-point shot.
Isaac Fleming, pretty good defender too. Free throws missed. It's 3-0 UC Riverside here in the early goings. 90 seconds into this contest. Fleming fires the three, and he answers and hushes the crowd here in the IE.
He's only a 30% three-point shooter. With Riverside sitting back in that 2-3 zone, though, temptation was too high not to take that three.
Jones thought about the three. They go back to Bland. A heat check for Bland. He missed.
He's the guy you want taking that shot. That's a good look.
That's Quincy Smith. Yankovic fires for three and knocks it down.
So Riverside has forced 2 three-point shots fairly early in the shot clock, and both of them have dropped for Hawaii.
Keep an eye on that Hawaii bench, by the way, and you'll be in for some real treats this evening. Some of the best showmen in the nation. Sakeen Johnson to the rack, fires long.
Here comes the fast break for Hawaii.
Isaac Fleming now, guarded by Bland, put back by Quincy Smith.
And that's why you never stop running the floor. Quincy Smith, maybe one of the smallest players on the floor for Hawaii. I think he is the smallest. Getting down the floor for the offensive rebound and transition, that's good basketball.
Hawaii on a quick 8-0 run. Sakeen Johnson thought about it, takes it with the right hand and lays it in.
I'll tell you, Sakeen Johnson's the X factor for this team. When he plays well, UC Riverside plays well. It's important they get him going in the early going here.
Sakeen Johnson, a transfer that's made an immediate impact on this team as Hawaii throws it away. Johnson is averaging double figures on the year at 15 points against UC Irvine their last game. There's the head coach of Hawaii, Ron Gano, in his first season. Second youngest coach ever at Hawaii, came from St. Mary's where he was an associate head coach under Randy Bennett. That's actually where he started his career. And before that, he was at Hawaii as well as an assistant. So he's been back and forth between St. Mary's and Hawaii.
This is good action right here. Get Jalen Bland and Taylor Johnson the same side of the floor. Nice move, spin, left-hander.
And that's what makes Taylor Johns so tough to guard. You look at his stature, he's not the biggest guy on the floor, especially for a 4 or 5, but so athletic and physical.
I like here on the other end for Quincy Smith to run the old horns play. Quincy Smith can go to his left or he can go to his right.
Head coach for UC Riverside, Dennis Cutts, in year number 3. And they're off to their best start ever this season. He replaced Jim Wooldridge, who brought Cutts over from Kansas State, an associate head coach at San Jose State before that. Fleming to the rack. Agent 0 earns 2.
That's what Hawaii does. They want to attack the paint. They want to get in the gaps, use their athleticism, and they have plenty of guys that can shoot from outside the 3.
It'll stay Riverside basketball. Hawaii putting on a show, firing from deep, and they got a 3-point lead. Taylor Johns with the plans. It's Hawaii who has a 3-point lead here in the early goings from the Inland Empire. 15:52 remaining in the first half. Richie, I want to get your take on this because we mentioned Hawaii's bench earlier, and there is a bit of a bench battle across the country. going on here. This is Hawaii. We'll see them first and see how they celebrate. Look, launching the grenades. That's some creativity right there, Richie.
I love that. I love that. What are they going to do in this one?
Let's see here. Is this, oh, they're going to play some football. All right, like a bowl game. This is at the Diamond Head Classic. Yeah, celebrating this. I think it's almost more fun to watch the bench. Well, I don't know what, oh, they're playing ping pong, tennis?
Is that what that is? Yeah.
I think that's
the
what
towel
that is.
was the net.
Was it sitting on the floor? This seems like a Richie Schuler idea. But look at Monmouth. I don't know. Is this a jousting competition? A proposal? My goodness, she looks surprised. That is a Richie Schuler move.
I can see myself doing that.
Yeah, no, I think you've done it to me before, and I had to say, come on, Richie, cut it out. They put us up on the kiss cam.
They did, on the Honda Center.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen here at the Big West on ESPN. Meanwhile, Hawaii's got a 3-point edge here in Riverside. All right, Richie, give your take. Who did it better? You want Monmouth or Hawaii?
Well, I'm going to have to sell out here and tell you that I think it was an even tie. I'm waiting to see the rest of the season. How are they going to do it in the conference season is my question.
Way to go out on a limb.
Yeah, right.
You really jumped out there. A lot of hype for Monmouth. I think that we have seen, the one thing I appreciate about Hawaii is they never miss an opportunity. Even if it's not there, they're making an effort and going for it.
I like that.
I'm leaning Warriors. That's why.
Okay, I can take that.
Hawaii knocks it out of bounds. Going to stay Riverside basketball here. 18 seconds left on the shot clock.
Let's see if Hawaii comes out with a little bit more pressure in the full court. We've seen that during different parts of the year. We saw it a lot last season by Hawaii. Really like to play that
Jones
style.
Can't get the kiss. And now it's Quincy Smith bringing it up. See him play some point guard tonight with Bob. It still hasn't come back. What a move by Quincy Smith.
That's the schoolyard move. Fake like you're going to go around the back with your right hand and just take it up.
That's what you learn at City College of San Francisco. Those kind of plays. Taylor Johns. Yankovic swats him away. Smith there to pick it up. Looks like Yankovic might have got hit in the eye on that play. There's a timeout on the floor. It looks like that is what happened.
I think it's a missing contact lens. It looks like he's looking on the floor for a contact.
The search is on.
Well, I think they found it. I can tell you from wearing contacts, that's a scary thing. You get hit, a little hit, and you lose your contact. If you can't find that contact, you can't see the rest of the game.
So that means a sub is going to come in. And it's Roderick Bobbitt for Hawaii, who did not travel with the team initially, had to take care of some things back on the islands. Flew out this morning, landed in Southern California this morning, plenty of time ahead of tonight's game, and he makes his first appearance.
I'm expecting the tempo of the game to pick up a little bit with Bobbitt in, especially in the defensive end of the floor. This is last season's Defensive Player of the Year in the Big West Conference.
And he's leading the conference again in steals, second in assists. Fleming's in some trouble. They find Smith down low and he finishes.
Official didn't think he left his foot. It's not a travel if he doesn't pick up his pivot foot. Looked like it, but he's got a baseline view right there under the basket.
Warriors by a touchdown. They go inside. That's Larson. Larson out of sweep and finishes.
They've been waiting a season and a half for him to do that consistently. Larson as a freshman last year, this year as a sophomore, bodying up guys, playing stronger. You saw that move. That's a man move.
Alex Larson, a 7-footer. One of those traditional fives that you see fairly regularly here in the Big West. That one's blocked away. Sakeem Johnson there with Mike Thomas forces the jump ball. It'll stay Hawaii basketball. But going back to Larson for a second, this is a guy that you've seen his development but it doesn't show up in the box score.
No, and a lot of that's because UC Riverside's better this year. They have more players that can score the basketball. I think you would see in a natural progression, you would see Larson score more points this season than he did last year, but his numbers aren't going up as fast as you think they would. Usually that's when the big jump is, freshman to sophomore year. And you're not seeing that as much. I think it's because they have better perimeter scores all around.
Fleming misses a three. You just think how important Larson is. He was in foul trouble against Cal State Fullerton. His plus-minus was plus 20 in that game, and that's when they blew a 20-point lead. 3-on-2. Smith lays it up and in.
And that's Rainbow's Warriors basketball right there. That's them getting up and down, making your defense become your offense. They've thrived on that for the last couple of years. And with these guys that can get so many steals on their team, my goodness, they can be exciting.
From Gib Arnold, Benji Taylor, Ron Gano, one thing that's been consistent with Hawaii, speed.
Looks like UC Riverside stepping back into 2-3 zone, mixing up their defenses.
That's way deep for Isaac Fleming. He shot that one from downtown.
And we've seen that with Hawaii. We've seen them shoot three-pointers at times when UC Riverside is in a zone. It's a very easy trap to fall into, to get comfortable with that three-point line, because you're not comfortable attacking those gaps.
UC Riverside, one of the better three-point shooting defenses. They get sent to inbound here. Back quickly into the game is Jankovic. Because he has that contact back in and he's okay. Blinking his way through it, you can see him rubbing his eye. Apparently comfortable enough to be able to be back in the contest.
Taylor Johns back into the game as well. Certainly gives them an offensive punch, rebounding punch.
Johnson has some space. Athletic play, but swatted by Jankovic. Warriors going running. No reset, smart play.
It's good basketball by Hawaii. Don't force it. If it's there, take it. If not, pull it out, run your offense.
Jankovic. It's the second one he's hit.
He's 6'11". He's a 40% three-point shooter coming into the game. Only 10 of 25 before that three-pointer. That's impressive that he can step out. He's going to take it if you give it to him.
Nice bucket right there by Malik Taves.
Off the bounce, mid-range shot. That's a shot that anybody that wants to play college basketball needs to master. If you're a perimeter player, off the bounce, mid-range shots can help you get on a college roster.
UC Riverside upset Hawaii here at the SRC Arena a year ago. Take by Fleming.
That shot fake got two UC Riverside defenders in the air.
And a technical after the play. It looks like it's on Jalen Bland. We'll sort this out when we come back. Warriors up by 8 for the timeout. And you see the swat. And then Jalen Bland and Isaac Fleming get chatting. It looked like a technical was issued. I don't know if that's going to stand or not. And the officials are discussing that right now. Meanwhile, there's a timeout on the floor. Hawaii is up by 8. Difference so far, Quincy Smith, his 8 points, that's a game high.
He's playing well. He's attacking the basket. The defensive end, he's locked in. A lot of players who are locked in defensively will play good offense, and vice versa. If you play really good offense, you feel good about yourself, you go on the other end, you'll play great defense as well. Why, if there was a technical foul, Trent, it doesn't look like they're doing anything.
So it looks like it was on Isaac Fleming then.
There we go.
So Bland going to shoot the free throws. The point was to Fleming, so that's his second because of the technical. So that means free throws coming from Bland. In just the replay that we saw, I didn't see anything. I mean, of course, we don't know what was said. We can't hear the chirping. Didn't get the best look there, but so it's Bland who makes the first free throw and gets the second one to fall. And this was the play that earned Isaac Fleming the tee.
It's a great move. Good basketball move. Let's see if there's any extracurricular there. Yeah, just a little talk.
He gets right in Bland's face. That enough for a technical. Riverside trims the deficit.
It's a free 2 points for UC Riverside.
Taylor Johns runs into a double team. He's in trouble. Tries to get to Larson. Scramble for an underneath. Jump ball possession arrow will favor UC Riverside.
If you're a coach, you're liking how your team is getting on the floor. There's 4 bodies on the floor, 2 for Hawaii, 2 for Riverside. Both these teams playing great offense, 60% from the field for Hawaii, 50% for UC Riverside. Defense needs to tighten up just a little bit, but Hawaii with the upper hand and has 3 more shots than Riverside does, primarily because of their offensive boards.
Menno Dijkstra to come in for the Highlanders. He's a freshman out of the Netherlands, another 7-footer from overseas that Dennis Kutz has brought into this program. International recruiting, a big part of the way Dennis Kutz runs this program. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Knocked away by Bobbitt. Looking for Smith. That's Jovanovic with the reverse no. Johnson there to swat it. Jankovic finishes. And now a timeout by UC Riverside.
Good swat by Sakeen Johnson, but there you go. Hawaii continues to play through that. Continue trying to get to that offensive rebound. Don't give up on the play. A lot of times it's not the first effort, it's the second, third, and fourth efforts that get you opportunities to score.
And you look at what Hawaii has been able to do so far in this start. 13-2 overall on the year. They're up by 8 in this game. Looking for their first 3-0 start in conference since 2012. And look, part of that, you look at the big facets of this game, scoring, defense, rebound, turnovers. They're among the best, if not the best, in the Big West Conference in 4 pretty critical categories.
And that's what makes them so good. This is a team that has probably the best record in the conference at 13-2. UC Riverside, they're tied with UC Irvine, rather, tied with them for first place, among a couple others. But I mean, they have the best record in the conference, and it's because of those numbers.
And they beat some quality teams. Wins over Northern Iowa and Auburn at the Diamond Head Classic. They lost to Oklahoma, but that was only by 3 points. Sakeen Johnson, the follow-away is good.
He's playing well. He is heating up, and that's a good thing if you're a Riverside fan.
The question for Hawaii every year is, how is this team going to be able to play on the road? This is just their second road game this year. The other one was a loss at Texas Tech in Lubbock.
That was a close game, too.
Foul was called on Malik Thames. It was. That one, 8-point game, came down really to the final minute. And that's a tournament team. Texas Tech, Red Raiders. Probably going to be in the conversation to get into the big dance. Hawaii thinks they belong as well.
Well, I think the key for Hawaii is being able to win on the road. It's something that's always kind of been their Achilles heel year after year.
Bobbitt from way deep, misses. Johnson, and he traveled first, yeah, too many steps.
Picked up his pivot foot. Very common for guys. They make a little ball fake or shot fake, they pick up their pivot foot.
And Sakeen Johnson is so athletic, and he's just a high flyer. You could tell he was saying, oh, I could have something here.
Right.
Got a little ahead of himself.
Right, exactly. Happens often. And you talk about Hawaii. They're 13-1 at home, but they're 13-2 overall. So the critical key is, can they win on the road? And this is their first road test in conference play.
And they're without their top scorer, Aaron Valdez. He's got turf toe, not going to play tonight. He did make the trip. We'll see if he can go on Saturday at Cal State Fullerton. 5 on the shot clock. Quincy Smith can't finish inside. He thought he was hit, no call. Taylor Johns thought about it. Finds a cutting Johnson. Can't finish the slam.
Tremendous pass. That would have brought the house down.
That would have been SportsCenter. Johnson with the strip. We're past the midway point in the first half. Jalen Bland knocked down 1-3 already. Bobbitt got his hands on it. He goes running. Roderick Bobbitt. And the finish. Sharif Droumet.
It's the 3rd time we've seen a Rainbow Warrior get there and get an offensive rebound for a putback. They don't give up on plays. This team knows how to go. This team knows how to finish plays and cover up for your teammates' miss.
Was that a Globetrotters pass?
Which one?
The one right there by Bob.
Oh, the one off the backboard?
I think he'd tell you it is. I don't know. It'll go down as a missed shot, but I think he'd say it was that was on purpose, man.
It could have been. Well, Bobbitt's steal, though, was all because Jalen Bland tried to throw. Well, that doesn't look like a replay here.
Now.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. No, but Bobbitt's steal was because Jalen Bland had the ball in the wing. He tried to pass the ball back to the top of the key, throwing upwards. And that's why Bobbitt was able to get a piece of that ball and go to the other end.
Johns cutting inside, gets hit. Free throws coming for Taylor Johns. The previous foul before that was on Jovanovic. That was his first.
I tell you, Taylor Johns, we just saw him lean into the defender, and now he's getting 2 free throws as a result. At UC Irvine last Saturday, Taylor Johns had no fear whatsoever in taking it at Dimakopoulos, the 7'2" Greek player for UC Irvine, had no fear whatsoever taking against the 7'6" Mamadou Ndiaye for UC Irvine. He found himself to the line quite a bit. I think he had 13, 14 free throws in that game. He has no fear in attacking, getting a piece of the defender's chest and trying to finish.
Johns makes 1 of 2. That foul on Jankovic. So that's Jankovic's first.
You're seeing UC Riverside, it's a couple possessions now. They've gone from 2-2-1, press full court, trying to run some of that shot clock off, back into a 2-3.
Droumet finds Bobbitt, 10 on the shot clock. Bobbitt misses that one, gets his own rebound on the tip. Down low for Thomas with a slam.
He's one of the most experienced players on this team. He's been with Hawaii longer than most guys on the roster.
Thomas, who started 11 games a year ago, has earned his way as a consistent starter now. Jalen Bland called for the offensive foul. Hawaii off and running. They got a 9-point lead here, under 8 to go in the first. It's a party here in Riverside, but right now it's Hawaii on top, 27-18 in the first half, 7:58 remaining in the half. And we talked about some soccer before accidentally. Courtney Sweet, Joe Hood, Andrew Leahy, they just got too excited. That's because today the MLS draft, and you look at the first pick in the second round, Chase Minter at Cal Poly. Big West Conference midfielder of the year, goes 21st overall to the Columbus Group. They're big on soccer out in Ohio. Richie, you know that. You're an Ohio boy.
Hey, soccer is pretty big out there. I tell you, football is really big in Ohio, though.
And congratulations, Michael Salazar as well. He was drafted in the MLS draft today. There's the Hawaii bench, feeling pretty good right now. Up by 9, and Roderick Bobbitt, what an impact he has made already in this game. He already has 3 steals.
Well, this Hawaii club has 6 assists to only 2 turnovers, but they have 6 offensive rebounds, 10 second chance points. That's why they have this lead. The offensive rebounds, and the ability they've forced UC Riverside into 5 turnovers.
Bobbitt, 2 on the shot clock. They got to get rid of it. Thomas for 3, and he knocks it down.
All that offense. Looking inside the big man. They had a back screen for the big fella in there. They're really good at making that and one pass. Roger Bobbitt had a decent shot. Mike Thomas had a better one.
Jalen Bland. Johns, the handoff. Jones lost it up, and he was fouled in the process. He'll get free throws here. He was hit pretty well on that play.
That was a really good pass. It was a good pass from Taylor Johns. He's right around the elbow area, right around the free throw line. Sees the backdoor cut for Stevie Jones. And here's a guy that had a broken foot, missed the last several games of last season. And had they had him, I'm pretty sure they would have a much stronger finish. He was one of the only guys on the team last year that was really good at attacking the basket and get inside the paint. Missed him for a couple games this year. Now he's back in action, and he just gives him another threat to attack the basket, but he's also really, really good as an on-ball defender.
Jones hits the second of 2. That'll bring Malik Thames back into the contest for the Highlanders. Riverside trailing by 11. This is a pretty similar spot to where they were against UC Irvine. You're feeling like you're playing in the game, maybe 1 or 2 possessions And when you let your opponent and a good team in Hawaii get a double-digit lead, makes it tough to climb back. Smith takes it to the rack and scores. Smith in double figures with 10.
I mean, they're relentless going to the basket. They have so many weapons. Smith, Bobbitt, Fleming, all these guys can attack the rim anytime they want.
The Smith brothers are some scorers. As Jalen Bland hits the three in the corner, a much-needed three for UC Riverside.
Look at this.
Quickly, it's Jankovic who misses down low.
They are going to play 94 feet. That's Hawaii. Riverside is more of a jump shooting team. If they can get some open looks, they're going to knock them down. That's how they're going to have to get some points on the board.
Larson. 9 on the shot clock. Good move by Larson. And he gets it, so 2 free throws coming for Larson.
I thought that foul was on the floor. Matter of fact, I thought maybe they were going to call a traveling violation.
Instead, the foul's on Jankovic, so that's 2 on the junior transfer from Missouri. Now the sophomore 7-footer from Sweden makes the first free throw.
Coach Cutts likes this international front line flavor.
Yeah.
Talked about that. Here's Larson. You talked about him being from Sweden. Robert Boezeman from the Netherlands. He's played a big role earlier in the year, especially when Taylor Johns was out for a few games. And the other big fella, Menno Dijkstra. You talked about him from the Netherlands, a 7-foot freshman.
Quincy Smith.
So look how this team has the floor spread. They have 2 bigs in the game right now. Oftentimes it's just 4 around 1.
Great aggressive defense by Thames. It'll stay Hawaii basketball with 9 seconds on the shot clock.
I think it's a freshman mistake. Sharif Dramé. You don't lob that pass up. Trying to make a guard-to-guard pass, and one's being denied. Don't lob it over his head. He'll learn that. He's a freshman. But that was almost a near turnover and could have been 2 points on the other end.
So now Dramé to inbound. He finds Quincy Smith. Roderick Bobbitt. Back out, Quincy Smith, 2 on the shot clock. He's got to get rid of it, instead passes, and that's a shot clock violation, and that a mistake by Smith.
Tremendous defensive possession for Riverside, and that can get them going. This is what you want to do if you're a Highlander fan. 5.5 minutes left in this half. Try to get this to be within 3 points when you get to the locker room.
Kind of looks like Hawaii forgot about the shot clock on that last possession. Jalen Bland other way, left it short. Rebound Taylor Johns. Johns to the rack. He can't throw it down.
Big boy move there, athletic.
One thing, and Dennis Cutts talked about this, part of the reason why they felt like they blew that game against Cal State Fullerton, everyone trying to make the Sports Center play. And there's a travel on the other end, and you're seeing a little bit of that right now. Hawaii not playing their style of basketball, not getting in the flow, everyone trying to make that individual effort.
Yeah, I think what he thought was, down the stretch, Fullerton started making a really good run. And he thought that guys were, not in a selfish way, but trying to put it upon their shoulders to try to make the play that's going to help the team win the game. And instead of maybe playing better, he missed one in the first half with his left hand, but he's a guy that can make either one of those consistently.
Larson again with 7 points. He's the second leading scorer for UC Riverside. Bland has 8, that leads the team. Hawaii has 2 in double figures. Smith has 13. Jankovic now has 11. Thomas, no. Rebound Larson.
Looked like Taylor Johns got a piece of that, the help side defender.
Jones to the rack, gets hit. So free throws coming for Jones here. That last foul was on Roderick Bobbitt. That's the second on Bobbitt.
That's what I'm talking about with Stevie Jones. I mean, he has that extra gear where he's kind of lulling you to sleep, goes off a screen, boom, gets right into the paint to the basket. Now he has 2 free throws.
So Bobbitt picks up his second. He still hasn't scored in this game. They're flying in this morning. Did not travel with the team initially, didn't start tonight. He's a key player for them, but they've gotten it. Hawaii has in other areas, most notably Quincy Smith, who's got 13. First free throw is missed by Stephen Jones.
Well, Bobbitt was basically a hero for Hawaii at the Diamond Head Classic. I was down there. I think he had a pair of games where he had 30 or more points.
Yeah, Bobbitt, 30 points against Oklahoma and a 3-point loss to a top 5 team in the country. As Fleming missed that one. Then the next night, they go and they beat Auburn, and he drops 32. There's Bobbitt now, looking for 3, not there, and then turns it over. Bobbitt there, knocks it loose, and Hawaii gets it back. Fleming, no look to Jankovic. He can't make the layup. Jankovic getting another chance, swatted away by Taylor Johns, and Taylor Johns does not like the call. And that's his second personal.
Well, Taylor Johns, let's see if he got a piece of the ball right there. Here's the missed shot, comes back down, and here's the shot that gets swatted. Looked like right there. I don't know if he got a hand of it or not, but he certainly didn't feel like he did.
Looked like he got some elbow bit. I know in the paint, that's a tough call to make.
Well, John's a competitor. He's still upset about that. He's talking to his teammates about it. I didn't foul the guy. That was a block.
Taylor Johns, pretty emotional guy, too. Wears his heart on his sleeve. Second free throw made by Jankovic.
What I like about this Riverside team is the balance they have across the roster. 15 players, 12 that actually play. And he has 3 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 3 juniors, 3 seniors. So a great balance all across the board. What a lot of people don't know is there's only 5 returning players on this team.
Sakeen Johnson knocks down the 3, and Sakeen Johnson, a big part of that class balance. He's one of 3 contributing transfers. That's not something that Dennis Cutts normally does here at Riverside, but he wanted that class balance. That certainly was something that he was interested in having as they pick up a foul on the other end. That one on Johnson.
Watch the way Larson sets up. He's right there, hands big and wide. He's supposed to keep his hands straight up in the air like that, but he brought him down ever so slightly, and you can tell right here, the hands are up, then hands go down, and that's why the foul is called.
So Fleming's gonna get a pair of free throws. That foul is actually on Larson, not Johnson. And that's the second on Alex Larson, the 7-footer for UC Riverside.
You're talking about Riverside's roster, and had they not brought in the 3 junior college transfers, they wouldn't have any juniors on the team right now.
Right.
Those 3 transfers give them those 3 juniors. And I don't think Coach Cutts is a guy that wants to spend his entire career recruiting guys that he only has for 2 years. I think he wants to get a jump start with transfers like a lot of programs do when they first begin to revamp a program that hadn't been winning, and then start building with high school players and just kind of substitute some transfers here and there, not a healthy diet of it like they are right now.
Well, I asked him point blank if this was something that I wanted to know his reasoning for that, as there's going to be 7 seconds on the shot clock left for UC Riverside here. I go, is this something that you know you have 2 all-conference players in Bland and Johns and you're trying to win now? And he goes, well, of course I want to win now, but Trent, I want to build this thing. And he's interested in Riverside being good for a long time as Bland finishes there.
Who thought the 6'3" shooting guard had a post move?
Bland now with 10 points.
Riverside just kind of keeps hanging around. That was going to be a foul. Looks like off the ball screen.
And that's on Taylor Johns, and that's his 3rd. So now John's in a bit of foul trouble. What did you see here, Richie?
Well, let's see it right here. Here's the ball screen. You're looking at Taylor Johns, and we didn't see it there, but it looked like I think he might have got a piece of his arm as he was trying to hedge on that ball screen.
Jankovic. And a foul first, and if this is on Johns, and it is, the foul's on Taylor Johns, that now his 4th personal. He picked up 2 fouls in about 10 seconds. He had 1 foul at the break, now he's got 4, and that's one of the stars for Riverside, heads to the bench with 4 personal. Huge loss for the Highlanders.
You can't blame Coach Cutts for keeping them out there. You're down 12 to one of the best teams in the league. You have 0 margin for error. You've dug yourself a hole. You keep your best player, one of your best players out there. But to get the 4th foul now they're in serious trouble.
Isaac Fleming fouled from behind the arc. That's going to be on Sakeem Johnson, his third. Fans don't like it. Free throws coming for Thomas. And now you can see it looks like
Robert Buzimán.
Yeah, Buzimán.
Here it is right here. Got a piece of right there with the flick of the wrist.
See where Buzimán went to the ground. He got kind of tangled up there with Jankovic. And you can see Buzimán on the ground right now as he's attended to by the medical staff. You see him grabbing that left hip.
Hope he's okay. He is such a hard worker. Here's a guy that's really stepped it up and shot it really well when Taylor Johns was out. He's a three-point shooter. He's a set three-point shooter. As a freshman last year, broke his finger early in the season, so was delayed in his freshman year. Played through it towards the end of the injury. Had a strong second half of the year. And here he is getting good rotation playing time this year. You hope that's not a serious injury.
Well, Taylor John suspended 5 games at the beginning of the season. Buzimán stepped in, was big for them. Knocked down a bunch of threes. He's shooting the ball really well from behind the arc. Hasn't really contributed offensively tonight, but he's at 23s this year. As you look at the standings in the Big West Conference, right now Hawaii on top of those top 3 teams, Hawaii, UC Irvine, Long Beach State. At least one will lose tonight. And Riverside trying to avoid an 0-3 start to the year. Should Hawaii be able to get to 3-0, it'd be their first 3-0 start in conference since 2012, and that was their first year in the Big West. Would also mean a 6th straight win. That's their longest winning streak since 2004. And when you look at what Hawaii has done to start this season, you're looking at the early 2000s years when Hawaii basketball was really good, getting to tournaments. They're trying to get back there now.
Well, the good news is Robert Buzimán has walked off the floor with the help of 2 people. One being the trainer, I believe, but he looks like he's in pain. I'm not sure we're going to see him back tonight.
And the good news is that he's up.
Yeah, he did walk with a limp, but he walked.
The bad news is it didn't look too comfortable. First free throw by Fleming, good. Second one missed. Hawaii a 13-point lead, 16:36 remaining in the contest.
I'm impressed with this. I mean, Hawaii is down their leading scorer in Aaron Valdez. Their system and the play of the depth that they have has given them a 14-point lead against a team that was preseason ranked 5th in the conference on their home floor.
By comparison, Hawaii was picked 3rd. I don't think they're the 3rd best team right now.
They're right there. Long Beach, UC Irvine, Hawaii are playing at a high clip. Now, we haven't seen much of the conference season, but those 3 teams are undefeated in league. So I think Hawaii, this could be a legitimate chance for them to get to that conference tournament, potentially get to the NCAA.
Last foul's on Mike Thomas. Remember, Hawaii, a couple possessions away, really 1 possession away from getting to the dance a year ago when they lost to UC Irvine.
Interim head coach Benji Taylor.
Right. And Hawaii has to be feeling like, well, this is the year. The NCAA saying they're not going to be in it next year. Now they're appealing that postseason ban for next year.
Well, I'm glad the NCAA has allowed them to potentially have that this season and didn't say you can't have postseason this year. It's nice that they at least give them a year.
Sure.
And unfortunately for Coach Gano, that means that anybody that wants to transfer out can transfer out without penalty, and they don't have to sit out a year like you normally would going from D1 to D1. So players may transfer out as a result, but the way he's got it built, I don't know if anybody's going to want to leave. They have such a tremendous environment out there.
Who would? Thames. Yeah, those for rules violations back in 2013, 2014 season. Still will be feeling the effects even into next year. But Hawaii's up by a dozen right now, 15-44. Riverside shooting free throws. When see Arena, but Riverside feeling more black and blue right now, down by 12 and 15:44 remaining in the second half. Now this game certainly far from over. I don't think anybody knows that better than UC Riverside, who saw a 20-point lead at this point in the game against Cal State Fullerton evaporate when they lost the opener of the conference season a week ago today. There's Dennis Kuntz, the head coach. He's donning the all blacks here on the blackout night. Black jerseys for UC Riverside.
Well, it really changed
complexion of the conference. If they beat Fullerton here at home last week, they're 1-1 in conference. I mean, they blew that game. UC Riverside went on a 50-24 run after, I'm sorry, Cal State Fullerton went on a 50-24 run after Riverside had that 20-point lead. Now they're 0-2 in conference. They're having to face one of the best teams right now. It's a little bit deflating. I think that really affected the mentality of this ball club, and Coach Cutts having to get these guys out of that negative momentum.
Another lane violation. This one on Sakeen Johnson. Larson missed the free throw anyway, so really no harm, no foul. So that's the second time tonight.
Those kind of things will definitely hurt you in the end. Mental errors, unforced turnovers. Take those out of the game, you have a much better chance, obviously.
Smith to the bucket, lays it in. That's just too easy.
It's too easy. Nobody was there. You need to not allow him to get inside the paint. He caught the ball at the elbow and was able to just take it, rip it through, go left hand all the way to the rim.
Smith trying to take it away. Pretty incredible what Hawaii has been able to do defensively.
Here he is right here. Caught it right at the elbow, then goes left. Nobody there. It took one step to beat Alex Larson.
On the other end, Jalen Bland knocks down the three. Bland gets the bucket. His 13th points.
Looks like Riverside's playing a little bit of 2-3 zone after their made shots.
Trying to go into Thomas, it's not there. Riverside wants to push. Stephen Jones to Johnson. Bounces around like a pinball machine. Goes off the backboard, and now it's Hawaii basketball.
And Trent, that's what I'm talking about. That is an unforced turnover. He passed the ball at his teammate's shins. He could have stopped and popped, or he could have just handed the ball to him. Would have been better than that pass. Riverside in a bit of a funk. Gonna have to break their way out of it. They want to have any chance of beating Hawaii.
Right side bomb it now, Thomas. And an offensive foul. Good defense by Larson. Larson, to me, has been a difference maker for Riverside tonight, having one of his best games.
He's a workhorse. He added 10 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Does a really good job of scoring around the basket now, and he's certainly does an excellent job of keeping the ball alive at times off the backboard.
We saw Robert Buzeman leave the game earlier in the half. Now Sanas Tavasol has an update for us.
Thank you, Trent. Now the update on Buzeman is he took a knee to that backside, and he's showing Charlie horse-like symptoms. They've got him iced up right now, but they do not know if he'll be back in this game tonight, Trent.
Thanks, Sanas. Is Charlie horse-like symptoms the official terminology? That's pretty funny right there. Hawaii up by 11 right there. Hopefully he'll be okay, though. That's still pretty painful. Shoot. Rebound, Larson goes back up with it, has it stripped, but it'll stay Riverside ball.
It's a perfectly executed play for Jalen Bland. Get the ball at the top of the key off a double screen. But that's what I'm talking about. Alex Larson keeps balls alive, and if he can't get his entire hand on a basketball, he'll volley tip the balls around until somebody else gets the offensive board.
Thames to inbound. Going back to Buzeman for a second. Just good news that it's nothing too serious.
I believe we have an off-the-ball foul. Looks like it's on Bobbitt.
Actually, looks like it's Jovanovic, and that's his third.
So that's Coach Gano's going to have to make a decision to keep him in the game or take him out with his third. Looks like he's going to keep him in.
And a travel by Larson going up. Another turnover for UC Riverside. That's their 12th.
Well, the big man's trying to figure out some of those moves down inside the paint. Trying to get his footwork right. He didn't have that footwork last season. Now look at Hawaii. They spread this floor around 4, around 1. Try to get inside, outside attack. Or they'll use their perimeter players to get to the basket off these ball screens.
Hawaii much more patient here. Dramé steps out of bounds on the dish to Quincy Smith.
Hawaii had a 13-point lead at halftime, and this game has stayed consistent throughout. Still up 11. Hawaii's making a lot of mistakes, and they're maintaining their lead. Riverside, the door is open for them to have an opportunity.
Well, the Riverside Highlanders, they're making mistakes too, and you think that they hit a couple of shots, you get Bland hot, this game could change real quick.
Got to clean up these turnovers. Looks like they've cleaned up.
The one downside, Taylor Johns, they're all-conference, one of 2 all-conference players on the bench right now with 4 fouls.
It doesn't matter who's in the game. They keep turning the ball over like they are right now. They're not going to have a chance to win this game.
And you know Hawaii is going to get takeaways. You know they're going to get steals. That's their brand of basketball. That's just what they do. But those aren't the turnovers that Riverside's committing tonight.
It's a good play right here. Lots of action. Ends up in Bobbitt's hands and down inside the paint.
Bucket made by Jovanovic. And there's Taylor Johns on the bench. 4 fouls right now. Now a timeout called by Malik Thames, a JUCO All-American from a year ago. Hawaii up by 13, same margin they were up by at the half. 12:35 remaining here. Crazy things happen in the Big West Conference. This was just a week ago when Riverside had a 20-point lead in the second half. Jalen Bland, 19 points in the game. He was great, but Cal State Fullerton took over late, went on a huge run. Lionheart Leslie gets this one to go that tie the game under 2 minutes left, and then Trey Coggins with the dagger up top. Cal State Fullerton would take the lead and would not look back. Deidre Taylor saying this one's in the bag as Cal State Fullerton won by 6, 79-73, coming back down 20 points in the second half. That's what happened to Riverside just a week ago, but you know the Highlanders know anything can happen in this conference. And gosh, if they could just protect the basketball and hit a couple of shots, Riverside would be right back in this thing.
And those are 2 teams right there, both third-year coaches. There's Coach Cutts right there in his 3rd year. He took over a program that hadn't won in a few years. And it's same with Deidre Taylor at Cal State Fullerton. Very similar programs. That was a big-time win and a little bit of a statement win for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton.
Bland nearly got caught. Got rid of it just in time. Sakeem Johnson loses control of it. Dennis Cutts pleading for a foul there on Hawaii. 7 seconds on the shot clock now as the Highlanders will inbound, and they do. Looking for Bland. Bland trying to come off the pick. 2 seconds out, they gotta hurry. Johnson fires from way deep, just hits the front of the rim.
You have to know how much time is on the shot clock. Clock management, clock awareness, that's huge. And that didn't look like Riverside knew how much time was on the clock. He was forced to throw up a bad shot.
That was not the shot Riverside was looking for, no doubt. Quincy Smith has had a great game. Misses there. Jovanovic with the putback. Hawaii by 15. Menno Dykstra.
That was a good dish down inside.
Bobbitt trying to go coast to coast. Knocked away. Sakeem Johnson with a swat. And then Smith misses. Riverside trying to make some momentum. DJ Sylvester, no. Johnson was held and hit. Riverside finally gets a call. They're down 13. They'll have the ball when we come back.
He's all in with us, and he is the most optimistic guy in terms of our team and program, and we're going to win. And the next day after a loss, he's ready to go, and he's optimistic, and it's just he's a part of us.
That's Dennis Cutts talking about Stephen Colbray. There he is right there on the bench for UC Riverside. Inspirational story, big part of this Riverside program. I know, Richie, you're doing this story.
That's my man right there. I love Stephen Colbray. He student assistant, 3rd year college student. He's a junior, and he's a classic example of somebody that did not allow his physical disability to stop him from living his dreams. Here's a young man who not only wants to coach someday, he would rather be a front office NBA guy. And I'm not going to give you the whole tease. I'm not going to tell you everything about the
You gotta leave the people wanting more, Richie Schuler.
I'm going to tell you one thing. He's already had an NBA team ask him to do a scout for him.
That's awesome.
Kid's got a bright future.
He was hanging out with us after shoot around, cracking some jokes, talking some basketball. Sharp guy.
Yeah. I tweeted out a picture. I love that young man. Always has a smile on his face. The last few years I've seen him here every time we've done a UC Riverside game.
Sakeem Johnson, first free throw, up and good. Riverside still hanging around here. So in Riverside, California, here on ESPN, Big West Conference Hoops. Trent Schloem, Richie Schuler, Sanaz Davisaw with you.
Now you see UC Riverside applying a little bit more full court pressure and potentially looking to force a turnover. I mean, they're hanging around. They're only down 11. And it seems like a lot because it's been like this all game long, but they can get hot and get right back in this game. But they're going to have to force some turnovers and not allow some of these offensive rebounds for Hawaii to take place like they did, particularly in the first half.
Jovanovic can't finish, and then Tumala picks up the foul over the back. More free throws coming.
Look at this nice move. Larson, his hands straight up in the air. Got to appreciate the effort by Tumala to try to get that rebound. And that's a foul you can live with because you're trying to attack, trying to get an offensive rebound and a second chance opportunity for your team.
It's been an interesting half in terms of fouls. It was 5-1. 5 fouls for Riverside and 1 foul for Hawaii at one point. And since, just the way the game's gone, 7 straight fouls called against Hawaii. Now it's 8-5. Roderick Bobbitt to bring the ball up.
Hawaii been 3 around 2 a lot in this game, particularly when Riverside's in this 2-3 zone.
Basket made. Jovanovic. Jovanovic having a heck of a night.
He doesn't have the quickest feet in the country, but he has such a strong frame, and he's been a high field goal percentage shooter for 3 years now.
7 points, but timely buckets. He's got 7, but every bucket, it seems like, has come after a Riverside score. Taylor John's back into the game, and he turns it over. Thomas now. All alone is Fleming in the corner, and he missed the 3.
It's a rare miss on a fast break for Hawaii. They usually make you pay.
Jalen Bland. And the foul called on Sharif Dramé. These free throws for Bland.
Have to try to corral him a little bit. You see right here, he takes it up and goes up just a little bit too much to establish contact, and that's Jalen Bland too. He's a smart player, 5th-year senior.
Bland preseason all Big West. Averages nearly 17 points per game. Gets the first free throw here. He's now got 14 in this one. There's his season numbers. So far tonight for Bland, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Both free throws good. It's back to 11. It's about where it's been, it seems like, for the last half hour. Fleming trying to get around Bland, and a foul is called against UC Riverside. That's the 3rd now on Bland. So Bland has 3, Johns has 4. Sakeem Johnson also 3 fouls. The stars for UC Riverside all in foul trouble.
Well, that's their big 3, and the 3 most dynamic scorers and guys that can put the ball in the hole. If any one of those guys fouls out of the game, it's going to be obviously very difficult for Riverside.
As for Hawaii, Yankovic has 3. And that's on Taylor Johns. And that means Taylor Johns fouled out, and that's his 5th. Hold on a second.
Watch it right here. Ball goes inside. Taylor Johns trying to contest it. I think they called it on the body. I think he's fouled out of the game, and they're going to have to go small.
Wow, so you're basically playing, Riverside is without one of your stars basically the entire second half. Now he'll sit for the final 9:35 after already taking a big rest when he had 4 fouls. So that's it for Taylor Johns. Johns' night, just 5 points, 4 rebounds, turned the ball over 5 times, and was 2 of 6 from the field.
Taylor Johns leaves. He's 6'7", 220 pounds. Bring in Stevie Jones, who's 6 foot, 175. So now, like I said, Riverside's going to be forced to play small And maybe that'll create some better matchups for them on the defensive end because Hawaii has such good perimeter players.
Jankovic, who averages about 15 points per game, has that tonight with those last 2 free throws.
You're trying to get Jalen Bland open. Isaac Fleming wraps his hand around him. That's a no-no. That's what happens when you have a guy like Jalen Bland who's such a threat to score. Everybody guns to try to screen for him, try to shake him loose for a three-point shot. He's very deadly from behind the arc, as we talked about.
So many fouls tonight. It's really been tough to get any kind of flow of basketball here in the second half.
Riverside's had a hard time.
17 fouls in the second half already between the two.
They've had a hard time gelling and flowing together probably since Taylor Johns came back about a month and a half ago from suspension. And they just, having all their pieces together at one time has been difficult for them. And now, as we're in conference season, they have all the parts. When will all these parts play well together? I don't know. I think Riverside's a team that can contend towards the end of season. They're going to have a big tournament to do so.
And even though Hawaii has maintained a double-digit lead pretty much all night long, neither team playing great basketball right now. I think just because it's tough to get into any kind of flow. We have seen 17 fouls already in this game, in this half, rather.
Hawaii's had a difficult time in the second half against the 2-3 zone. Still, they're maintaining their lead, double-digit lead.
Another turnover by Hawaii. Bland. Sakeem Johnson thought about the three, didn't take it, and said, tough two. He can't finish.
It's good defense by Hawaii. Good team defense. One player gets beat off the dribble. There's another one there to help.
Thomas is swatted by Larson.
Good pass.
Bland open for three. He knocks it down.
That's a good pass. Sakeem Johnson got the defender focusing in on him. Just an easy 5-foot pass to the best shooter in the conference.
Back to single digits. And the SRC Arena picking up the volume. Jankovic can't answer. Bland now gives it away. Bob it. There's a player down for Hawaii.
Mike Thomas.
It is Thomas. Thomas really slow to get up there. He's still on the ground.
He landed hard. He landed hard on the offensive rebound attempt. Jankovic took the three-point shot. Watch him. He goes up, gets tangled in with a couple defenders, falls back right on his back. He's going to be fine. He's going to be okay, but that certainly takes the wind out of you. He might have a headache for the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's certainly going to feel pretty sore.
Tough kid right there. Very tough kid.
A senior leader on this team, a junior actually, but plays like a senior just because he's been such an important part of this program for 3 years.
Woodland Hills, California, El Camino Real High School was the city co-player of the year his senior year. Great pickup for Hawaii.
It's an 8-point game right now. Timeout on the floor. Looks like there may be a review here. We'll see what they want to look at.
I think they're trying to see if there was anything intentional or flagrant that occurred. I don't think there was. I think it was just an unfortunate landing.
Right.
But it's a good time for Coach Gano and the Hawaii squad. Here's a guy that, a program now.
20 minutes. First free throw by Bobbitt is good. Extends the lead back out to 8. And he makes them both. And those are Bobbitt's first points of the night. 0 for 6 from the field. Jones to Larson. Swatted away by Jovanovic. Thames picks it back up. Jovanovic, another block.
A block city down there for Hawaii. Some tremendous defenders. They can really guard on the ball really well. Obviously, they can block shots. And then on the offensive end here, they can penetrate to the basket. They can score inside the post. They can hit three-point shots. This is what makes them so good. They're so balanced on both ends of the floor.
We're seeing Hawaii much more deliberate offensively right now. Larson gets a block on the other end. 4 seconds going to be left in the shot clock for Hawaii, who's up by 9 when they get the ball back. 3:47. Hawaii tonight has done a really good job knocking down threes. And Richie, this has been a difference. We've seen Jankovic knock down 3 tonight. There's 2 of them right there. 6 threes on the evening for the Warriors. They're getting it done from deep. Riverside is supposed to be a pretty good team defensively against a three-point shot, but they've struggled tonight.
Well, you're leaving big guys open. Like you said, Jankovic has 3 of them. And then Mike Thomas plays your power forward position. He can step out and hit those threes, as you saw in those replays. They only have 1 three-pointer coming from their guard, so they're taking them away from the perimeter players, but they're allowing the post guys to knock them down.
You see Riverside really good against the 3 the first 12 games of the season. Team shot just 26.4% behind the arc in those first dozen games. That percentage has gone south or since. The last 6 games, about 40.8%, and 6 of 15. That's 40% tonight. Shaquem Johnson, 2 blocks there, and that's a shot clock violation.
Ball didn't hit the rim. There was a block shot and then another attempt. The ball did not hit the rim. That's a turnover.
It's a busy night in the Big West. I know we were talking about that Long Beach State UC Irvine game. 1 game has gone final. UC Santa Barbara gets their 2nd win. Big West player. Should be their 1st win. 76-73 over Cal Poly. Gabe Vincent, 27 points. And he had the game winner off of Michael Bryson assist. Bryson, the Big West leading scorer. Bland for 3. No.
Didn't have enough arch on that shot. That was got a good look, but it was flat. No arch.
Still just a 3-possession game. Why not out of the woods yet?
Not yet, but if they play this smart and take good high percentage shots like this one here.
Jovanovic dishes it back out, and they'll reset. Very patient offensively are the Warriors. And then there's a foul on Malik Thames.
So with that, now you have 2 free throws. So Hawaii with an opportunity to extend their lead, and that's what they can do. If they can get fouled and get some easy free throws, they're going to seal this game. UC Riverside on the other side, though, they're going to have to attack the rim, attack the basket. I know there's big shot blockers down there, but their best bet is attack, drive the paint, as you see the frustration from Taylor Johns there. Attack, try to get your layups. If not, kick it out for open shots. And maybe you can get fouled and get to the free throw line. Now, they've missed 10 free throws in this game so far, but here's an opportunity. Attack the basket.
Upcoming games, the Big West on ESPN. Hawaii, Cal State Fullerton, Saturday 9 Eastern. Women's hoops on Wednesday. Fullerton at Long Beach State at 10 Eastern. Cal Poly and CSUN, January 21st, 10 Eastern. All those games on ESPN 3. As you see, Quincy Smith get the roll. He's got 16. Only 3 in the second half, but he was a catalyst early and a big reason why Hawaii got out to their lead. And they've since been able to maintain. Shaquem Johnson hits the shot, and then a timeout called by Riverside. Highlanders will have 1 left with 2:52 to go.
Shaquem Johnson breaking down his defender. Again, another 15, 16-foot mid-range shot off the dribble, and a very smart timeout by Coach Cutts. Now, this allows them to set up their press out of the timeout. You're down 9 points. You can't waste any time whatsoever. Under 3 minutes to go. You're going to have to press. You're going to have to try to force some turnovers, and you're going to hope that you can force bad shots, get rebounds, and again, make your defense become your offense. That's what they have to do in order to have a chance to win.
Hawaii is up by 9 points right now. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow favors the Highlanders. Hawaii has 2 timeouts left. Riverside just one. With 2:52 to go. Big West Hoops on ESPN. Late night here on the West Coast.
Riverside takes care of the ball, and they don't turn it over, and they don't take silly shots down the stretch here. They should come out of this place with a victory. There's no doubt. The game is in their control.
Hawaii at 13-2 already on to their best start since the 2001-2002 season, and that was the last time they made the NCAA tournament. They lost in the first round to Xavier. Warriors were a 10 seed that year. They haven't started 3-0 in conference since 2012. That was their first year in the Big West. Came over from the WAC.
Here comes the full court pressure. Riverside. Look for the trap at half court. Nope, not trapping.
Bonnet. Around the edge, and he's fouled. So more free throws coming for Bonnet. Foul called on Jones.
Malik Thames was up on Bobbitt really hard defensively. It was a monster screen by Yankovic. That's what freed up Bobbitt to drive baseline and garner the foul.
Excuse me, that was actually on Sakeem Johnson. So that's his 4th. He's got 17 points tonight. Jalen Bland also with 4. He's got 20 this evening. Taylor Johns is already fouled out. As Hawaii brings Jovanovic back into the game. Bobbitt's first free throw good. Bobbitt, 4 points this evening, has not scored from the field. You see Taylor Johns frustrated.
Very frustrated. The only player standing up at the end of that bench.
Can only imagine how bad he wants to be in the game right now. I know he's cheering on his teammates, trying to encourage them to get back, but he's a star, and stars want to be on the floor late. And he's had to sit in the last 9:35.
He's coaching from the sideline. He told me last year, he said him and Jalen and Coach Cutts, Bland, that's him shooting the ball, he felt those 3 right there, and of course all the teammates too, but he felt the 3 of them all had the same vision about where this team could go at the end of last year and going into their senior years right now. And I think he's frustrated because this year has not gone the way he had expected. Again, they were picked to finish 5th. A year ago, they were picked to finish 9th and finish 5th. Right. This year, they're picked to finish 5th. When I saw them in preseason, I thought, this is a team that potentially could be in the top 3 of the conference. Now, Hawaii, I think absolutely, thus far in the season, there's no doubt. They are a top 3 program in this league.
Jalen Bland hits the 2nd. He's now got 21. That last foul, by the way, was on Isaac Fleming, his 4th, and then Fleming turns it over. He thought he was hit there. Now they go back to Bland. Bland trying to make something happen. Instead, dishes. That leaves Sylvester open for 3, and he knocks it down. TJ Sylvester, and the Highlanders back in business down 6.
Hawaii's going to see this full court pressure for the last 2 minutes, but you can't do it and foul. Every time you foul, you're giving them a potential to get 2 points at the foul line.
But this 3 by Sylvester has kept Riverside in this game.
Just bobbles in. It's a good use of the driving kick by Stevie Jones. The crowd does not want Bobbitt. They have a chance at knocking these 2 down.
That was a 4th foul on Thames. Sakeem Johnson back in. He also has 4.
You see what Riverside just did here. They took out Alex Larson. They put in Sakeem Johnson. And Riverside's biggest player is 6'5" on the floor. They have gone completely small. Look for this spread out offense, trying to get the ball for 3-point shots.
Riverside has struggled this year when they've had to go small, but it is something they've been working on the last week in practice. Jones for 3. No. And that's going to leave Isaac Fleming all alone for the finish. Hawaii back up 10. That might have been the dagger. Free throws coming now for Thames. Excuse me, that's Johnson.
Look at this right here. Stevie Jones took that three-point shot, missed it. Defensive rebound rather, down the floor. He's got some elevation. 6'3", dunked that with ease.
Fleming with the flush.
I saw a game earlier this year. It was at the Diamond Head Classic where Isaac Fleming had 4 steals in a row. Consecutive possessions. Steal, 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 steal. Stan Sheriff Center was going nuts. You got to think, Hawaii is used to playing in an arena that fits 10,000 people. 10,000. That's a large arena. And I've seen that place near capacity.
That last foul was on Stefan Jankovic. And that's his 5th. He is fouled out. So Jankovic out of the game. And now both teams, I guess, will go small. Meanwhile, rivalry week in the Big West. Irvine and Long Beach State. Talk about a low-scoring affair. They're tied up at 40 with 9 minutes left in that contest from the Pyramid in Long Beach, just up the road from here.
A low possession game.
Seen close to 50 fouls tonight in this game. Johnson, first free throw good.
Well, here's what's going to happen. Make this free throw right back to their full court press. And I would expect to see some sort of trap on the ball to try to force a turnover. There it is.
3-possession game, 90 seconds left. Fleming over the top to Bobbitt. What a pass. Thomas now. And he gets the layup to fall.
If you're UC Riverside, you have to look for open three-point shots.
Thames scores quickly on the other end. That's just what they needed.
Hawaii does such a fine job of handling the defensive pressure.
Thomas! And that is a throwdown, my friends.
They're having no issues whatsoever. It's a back-and-forth battle.
And there's a block. It's on Thomas. That's his 4th. And Thomas is going to need some kind of ice bath after this one. He hit the hardwood hard there.
Here's the dunk by Mike Thomas. I mean, they have 0 issues in breaking full court pressure. This is a team that did it all last year. Man-to-man full court pressure. You know, they practiced against it over and over last season. This year, they just make it look easy.
So under a minute to go. Thames at the line trying to make this a 2-possession game. Needs 2 to cut it to 6. That's the closest, well, 5 is the closest that UC Riverside has gotten here in the second half. 7 right now.
See if Hawaii can break this press.
Instead, they'll have to foul Jones. His second, really the only player not in foul trouble for UC Riverside.
Here it is right here. Can't see it from that angle right there, but if his feet are anywhere touching that line, then he has no chance of being called for a charge.
I don't think he was completely set. I thought Thomas might have still been sliding over.
Here it is right here. Can't see his feet right there, but if Thomas's feet are anywhere on that arc right there, when he's looking to take this charge, then it's a blocking foul. They extended from 3 feet to 4 feet this past season. Try to keep it a little bit safer around the basket. And it's about the same length now. I believe it's the same distance now that the NBA has it. So college, just like a lot of things, they go from what the NBA rules are, and it filters down to the lower levels.
Shortened shot clock this year. 30 seconds out from 35. Quincy Smith missed the first free throw. And Smith misses both. Highlanders may not be done just yet.
Make a big shot here. You're going to make it interesting.
And Johnson turns it over, but it'll stay Riverside basketball. I thought that was last touched by Johnson. Now the officials are going to try and discuss this. It looked from the naked eye that it should be Hawaii basketball here. Let's see.
Well, they can look at replays really anytime they want. I thought it went off Sakeem Johnson's leg, but now we don't have as good an angle as that official right there. Here's your angle right here.
Angle.
Goes off Quincy Smith.
There.
I think it went off the hand of Smith.
Yeah, hit Smith's hand at the end there. So the officials get it right on the floor.
Goes there,
touches his
hits
hand.
Johnson. Yeah, that's off Smith. That's Riverside basketball.
Yeah, so a break for the Highlanders, as Riverside should be able to keep it here, and that's what the officials are looking at right now.
All eyes are going to be on Jalen Bland. That's probably who this play is going to be made out to, but who's your secondary option? If you have the defense really focusing and shading on the best shooter, it usually leaves somebody else open.
Maybe that player, Sakeem Johnson. He's got 19 points tonight, second leading scorer for Riverside. Bland leading the way with 21.
You see during this timeout, Coach Cutts has taken himself out of it, allowed assistant coach Keith Wilkinson, who's inside the huddle, to draw up this play. A lot of times head coaches have assistant coaches that handle all the out-of-bounds plays.
Officials still looking at this one. This is what we saw. You see it's touched Smith's hand, off Johnson's foot, and then off of Smith's hand again as it goes out of bounds.
I don't think there's any doubt there.
And that looks pretty definitive to me.
If they're seeing the same angle that we are, you can see it goes right off of Smith's hands. And Hawaii can close this out. I mean, one stop here, they're going to have to be fouled in order for Riverside to have a chance. Get a stop here, get the ball back, get fouled, and make your free throws. They can seal this game. Here it is right here.
You go off the foot, and then that's off of the left wrist or thumb area of Smith, and I don't think Johnson touches it again. It actually looks pretty clear.
It's like a pinball machine down there. Boom, 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 boom.
It's everywhere. Officials still looking at this one. So Hawaii is up by 7, and this is a pretty important play. You give Hawaii the basketball here, it's all but over, barring a miracle for Riverside. It's still going to be tough for the Highlanders either way, but if they get to inbound here and they can score, then it's a two-possession game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any debate here. Riverside basketball.
I guess you could look at, did Johnson touch it again? And maybe this angle can show that. It didn't look like he did. And yeah, there you can see Johnson's hand miss it. So Johnson didn't touch it again. Last touch off of Smith.
I think you go with the original call.
I think they had, yeah, I'm with you. I think they had it right on the floor the first time around, and it seemed pretty easy. The officials are going to make their way over to us now to take another look at this. And from our angle, it looks fairly clear that it was off of Smith and should still be UC Riverside basketball. And they're going to get a chance to look at this again. And you can see, trying to slow frame by frame, off of Smith's hand. Then it goes off of Johnson's left foot here. And then it touches the left hand of Smith. And not touched again by Johnson, and the officials then decide, after the frame-by-frame look provided by our crew, it'll stay Riverside basketball.
All I know is these players are going to have creaky knees by the time we get this game started up again. We got a 5-6 minute break. Here we go.
Bland in the corner, fires for three, in and out. Oh, it hung on the rim but didn't fall. Rebound, Thomas. And that should seal it. There is the slam. Hawaii is going to win this game. Wow.
Hawaii just has to play it cool, don't foul, play strong defense, break the press here. There's no timeouts left for UC Irvine. So now they're going to foul again, down by 7 in 25 seconds. I think you're right, Trent. I think this one's all locked up.
This game literally hung in the balance on the rim on that Jalen Bland three. Touched every part of the iron and didn't fall. Here's that shot again.
If this goes in, it's a 4-point game.
And that changes everything.
So it's really a 5-point swing. You're down 7. That could have been 3 points for you right there, down 4. Instead, They get a fast break on the other end, a slam dunk. Now Hawaii's up by 9.
Fleming's first free throw good. Shot clock turned off. 25.5 left. As UC Riverside will lose for the second time in as many efforts at home. Here in conference play, they'll fall to 0-3 in the Big West. Johnson's three, no good. Rebound by Fleming, and that's going to do it. 80-71 should be the final here, as Hawaii and Isaac Fleming will just let the clock run out. Jalen Bland, Sakeen Johnson, 21 points apiece tonight, but not enough. 4 players in double figures for Hawaii. It was a balanced effort without Aaron Valdez. Hawaii improves to 14-2, 3-0 in Big West play for the first time since 2012, their first year in the conference, and now have won their 6th straight, the longest winning streak in over a decade for Hawaii. As for Riverside, they fall under 500, 9-10, 0-3 to start Big West competition.
I think you're going to see a good Hawaii basketball team throughout the rest of the season. The fact that they won on road turf instead of at home for the first time, that's going to establish a tone for their program the rest of the year.
I guess 5th time's the charm for Hawaii, as the last 4 years, they've lost their conference road opener. They win it this time at Riverside. Field goal shooting was pretty balanced. Turnovers were an issue. Points off turnovers were the difference, as Hawaii gets a 9-point win, 80-71 at UC Riverside. Quality victory tonight. Stevan Jankovic is now standing by with Sanaz Tavasol.
Thank you, Trent. Stevan, in the beginning of this game, you had a bit of an issue. You got hit in the eye. Didn't seem to affect you too much. You went on to have 15 points, 3 for 4 from the three-point line, and a couple of monster blocks here tonight.
It was a tough game. I mean, you guys saw we had to grind it out. You know, everyone on the team had to step up. We had a player out, and you know, this is conference. This is how every game's going to be.
You talk about that player out. That's Aaron Valdez. He's your leading scorer. How important was it for you to step up tonight and take on his role?
I mean, it's key. You know, someone always has to step up. Our team is very deep. You know, different guys, Quincy Smith, Isaac Fleming, today Michael Thomas. I mean, everyone stepped up, and that's what a good team does. You know, it's not just one guy. It's a bunch of guys.
So there were a number of fouls in tonight's game. I lost track after 40. I know that frustrated you. How much did that affect tonight's game on the court?
I mean, you can never blame it on the refs. And it's a road play. That's what you're going to expect. You have to play through it. Again, that's what good teams do, you know. So we just did what we could do to win, and I'm happy to be 3-0 right now in conference.
Your team is picked to finish 3rd in conference. This doesn't look like a 3rd-place team to us. What message do you want to send to the rest of the teams in conference?
I mean, they better watch out. You know, we've kind of been, you know, underrated, overlooked, you know, but Hawaii is the real deal. You know, we all love the state, and we play for the state, and we love basketball, and we want to, you know, go to the tournament, and we want to, for, I don't know, first time since 2001, you know, make a Cinderella story out of this place.
Well, hopefully that happens. Congratulations, and good night. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Sanaz. Don't sleep on the Warriors. Hawaii off to their best start since 2001, 2002. Yeah, that was the last time they were in the tournament. They're trying to get back again this year as they improve to 3-0 in Big West play. That's going to do it for us. For Richie Schuler, Sanaz Tavasol, I'm Trent Shalom saying so long from the SRC Arena, where Hawaii beats UC Riverside 80-71. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Have a great night, everybody.